Welcome to Interval Drinks
with your tipsy thespian pals, Chris.
Wowza!
So we're going from big cats to little cats, feline frenzy.
Except they're not so little cats because they're human-sized
They're
cats.
human-sized cats. And they like fish, and we like drinking like fish.
Hooray!
And we've got a cocktail for that, haven't we?
Have we?
What are we calling this one, SLP?
Is this feline frisky?
Feline frisky. Look
Oh
at
my
this.
God!
I mean, it even looks like cat piss.
Oh, don't tell me that. I'm about to drink
Let's have a
it.
taste, though. Let's have a taste, because I'm sure
thank
it
you,
actually...
Barman.
Thank you so much.
Oh, heck.
Oh, gosh.
Oh!
Oh, no, that's nice. That's refreshing.
That's very
A
refreshing.
bit of limoncello in there, I think.
That's the most refreshing cat piss I've ever drunk.
Based, of course, bringing it back here, on Old Possum's book of Practical Cats
T.S.
by
Eliot.
T.S. Eliot,
Yes.
with music and lyrics by the amazing Andrew Lloyd Webber.
A-L-W.
I kind of think that Cats, as a musical, gets a bit of a bad rep, don't you?
It's so divisive, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really freaking divisive.
I adore Cats.
I actually adore it as well, so I'm really glad that we're both doing it.
From like Gillian Lynn's deft choreography, it just can't be
iconic.
matched, that kind of stylistic approach to. And I think when Andrew Lloyd Webber came up, or originally conceived the idea of wanting to write a musical about cats,
Yeah.
everyone around him thought it was crazy. It would
Yeah.
never sell. And look how massive that became on Broadway.
Well, yeah,
and in London.
it's the fourth longest running in Broadway, isn't it?
Yes.
And it's just behind The Lion King. Speaking
Absolutely.
Of cats. They like cats over in America,
They
don't
do.
they?
There are no cats in America. That's a different show altogether.
Well, it's a wrong song.
That's
It's the wrong
Gillian Lynn, of course,
Yeah.
so good that they even named a West End theatre after
Yes.
her.
Oh,
God bless her soul.
God bless her.
What an absolute musical theatre icon.
I know.
It started with a tune, didn't it? Andrew Lloyd Webber had this tune of
Right.
da 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 da, and this was just playing around in his head, and he'd written it, and it wasn't meant to be for anything.
No, okay.
But then decided when he created or framed the story around the poems,
Yes,
that
yeah.
this song "Memory,"
Yeah.
which
Has to be
people
a part
like
of it.
grimace when they hear "Memory." It's a song I
no.
never tire of.
I love
I
it.
adore it.
Now, I do have a few qualms that I do feel it's overdone by people who aren't really listening to the words and they don't fully perform it. They don't understand
Yeah.
it. And then I think that's why people tire of it so quickly. But when it's performed well, bloody hell, it's unmatched.
And Trevor Nunn, who directed the original production,
Yeah.
he wrote the lyrics to "Memory."
Did he? I didn't know that.
Which is really sweet, really kind of beautiful, isn't it?
I love this collaborative effort that comes out of it. That's amazing.
And you know, we always talk on Interval Drinks, don't we, about loving a reprise. The Memory reprise just tugs on every heartstring, yeah.
so nice.
Absolutely.
And there are a couple of, I don't actually know what you would call, like, what would you call a reprise that comes before? Like a glimmer of the song before the full song. Do you know what I mean?
Reprise.
A reprise.
That's what we're calling it. We're calling it a reprise.
A reprise.
We love a reprise, we love a reprise.
Oh,
but as a
so-
standalone song, "Memory" is brilliant. Have you heard Nicole
iconic.
Scherzinger sing "Memory"?
I have.
Please share that on the
God,
socials.
I will,
because
I will.
She's brilliant at it.
so good.
Incredible, heartbreaking, in fact.
You just have to get someone who's really, really feeling the lyrics in that one because it's not like, it's heartbreaking. That's what you want. You want to see that kind of hopelessness turning into hope a little bit.
Especially when you go on Grisabella's journey,
Yes.
who is essentially that cat.
Yeah.
The other cat, Shun.
Shun all
And
the way through.
Spoiler alert.
Spoilers.
But it's her that goes up to the heavy side layer so she can come back and live another angelical life. Not angelical. Well, angelical.
Well,
She is
angelical.
Angelical. It's kind of like a Hindu. I have one life, two lives, not one, two for one for two.
2 for 1.
2 for 1.
2 for 1.
2 lives for 1.
Yeah.
If you could come back again, would you?
Oh, now you're asking. I don't know. I try and live my life as if, like, I was about to say as if every day's the last day. That sounds a bit morbid. But I try and live in the moment.
Yes.
So I don't know.
I'm
not
not like that.
I haven't really thought of that
Any
before.
regrets?
Je ne regrette rien. Je ne regrette rien. Apart from doing this terrible French accent.
Well, I think it's amazing French accent.
Terrible French accent.
You've got the part.
Thank
if
you.
only we were doing We've talked, haven't we, about how musicals have framed our childhood. We have had this discussion before. And I was first introduced to Cats to the 1998 VHS recording.
Same, VHS as well.
VHS?
Yeah.
Because I've got a note here actually saying, do you actually know what a VHS is, SLP?
I'm not that young. Heck, stop it. No, but I grew up on the VHS. In fact, I wore the tape out a little bit. Because I would just keep rewinding it.
I completely wore the tape out. You can see it here. I watched it every night after school. And when it had finished, I rewound it and watched it again.
And again. So I was there trying to sing along, which I was fairly able to do, except I was trying to do the top C in the very, the opening of Jellicle Cats. Didn't really work. I was trying to dance along. Absolutely catastrophic. I'm not a dancer at all.
Catastrophic.
Hey. But honestly, and then I would sort of stop spinning around in my room and just be watching it and just like on this tiny little screen.
It's not really a film per se, is it? It's more of a staged film production.
It is, but that's an element that I just really loved about it.
Me too.
I did, and actually, just harking back to something you said earlier about when ALW was writing memory and sort of working out there, because you said in the narrative, and this is obviously, I feel, one of the most divisive points for people, because people, when they sort of argue and say, oh no, I don't like Cats, and I say, why? And they say, it doesn't have a plot. And I sort of go, well, it does. It's just a much more kind of general idea, isn't it, than other shows. It doesn't sort of have A, B, C, D on your journey. It's kind of essentially, we just come into this competition.
It's a series of character studies.
It is,
and
exactly.
Each cat has its own individual
and it's like introduction to this person. And then there are a couple of obviously links in between, and we do see, I think Grisabella's story is like the main arc and everything like that, and then you get one from Macavity as well. Macavity.
Skimble Shanks.
Skimble Shanks.
It's iconic.
So good.
So there's two versions of Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer.
There are, aren't there?
Which one do you like the best?
Oh, in fact, I've got the one written down. The 83 Vienna one. So Mungo Jerry and a Rumpelteazer. But the other one's the original's like much more.
Mungo Jerry and Rumpelteazer. We are a couple of cats. Yeah.
I like the sort of
big
brass.
I like this big brass music.
Can we do that as karaoke duet, please?
Yes.
That would be great.
Yes.
Yeah.
And can we do that cartwheel thing that they do in that karaoke?
Yeah.
I tell you what, we'll work on that.
We'll work on it.
A little bit later on, after we've recorded quite a few of these podcasts and we're a few drinks down,
I just need a bit more of my cat piss.
Yes.
Christ.
We might actually film ourselves having a go at doing that cartwheel down the middle of White Frigate.
Oh, but I didn't bring my trainer, so of course, I better not do it. Oh no.
I've got another note here. And I'm going to leave this really with you. I hate to spring things on you, but I've kind of deleted this from my memory. I've just got WTF is the new movie.
Oh, we so need to talk about this.
It just concretes the feelings of the critics of Cats, I think.
Which is
those
not what was needed.
No, exactly that. Directed, of course, by Tom Hooper, and by his own admission, he said it was unfinished. He didn't complete it. It wasn't ready.
Andrew Lloyd Webber's he did a Variety interview literally saying that he hated it. He abhors the film. The best thing about it for him was working with, because he created the new song Beautiful Ghost with Taylor Swift.
Yes, of course.
And he said that was the only bit of the bit they enjoyed about it.
Why would you release something that you're not 100% happy with? Hold back the release day, or Lloyd Webber put the brakes on it and say, no, this isn't going out.
I know. It's just, if your name is obviously so heavily attached to this way, he can't possibly remove himself from it. And so it's like, you need to be happy with it.
Yeah, he kind of got the feeling that Cats is dead to me. Yeah. No, Cats will live on like Grisabella. That was poetry, wasn't it? That was poetic.
It was a little bit. I've got a couple of, regarding sort of the film comparisons. So, in fact, one's the first one, 98, which, of course, like you've already said, is a filmed stage version, I've got that versus the 2019. So the first element, I'm just going to sort of give you these bullet point by bullet point to match your WTF. So stunt casting. I appreciate, by the way, if anyone doesn't know what stunt casting is essentially when you get a big name into a role, isn't it? Normally
to try and sell tickets.
To try and sell tickets.
Or the theatrical way of looking at it is get bums on seats.
Yeah, and I appreciate that sometimes needs to be a thing. I appreciate it. But if you're going to do it, please get people who are then able to perform the roles bloody well.
But then, and in the 1998 version,
yeah,
there are some big names in that
really
too,
big names.
who are deft musical theatre performers.
Yes.
Rosemary Ford,
Yeah.
John Mills, Ken
Yeah.
Page, Elaine Page.
Elaine Page, yeah. And yet, in the 2019, we do have some who I feel work well, so like Judi Dench, of course, making, what's the character called? Old Deuteronomy, female, which I thought that was, it was a move, no, so it works.
So I've got something to tell you about this.
Oh,
I
go
don't
on.
know if you know, but in the original production,
Yeah.
the original London production, Judi Dench was to play Grisabella.
Oh, I didn't know that!
She'd sprained her ankle or broken her ankle and couldn't perform. So Elaine Page stepped in to the role.
Wow.
And Judi Dench, before she became a big Hollywood megastar, was actually a musical theatre actress. She's done loads of stuff. And there's a couple of podcasts we're doing in this series where we'll come on to Judi Dench a little bit later on.
Oh, blumming. No, I didn't know about that.
I'm glad you're taking the reins on this new movie, because I'm just going to sit here and grimace.
But so we've got like Judi Dench, we've got Ian McKellen, who I feel works really well, and then we've got what's her name, Jennifer Hudson, who I feel does a good job.
She kind of looks a bit feline, doesn't she?
She does a little bit.
She looks a little bit cat-like.
She's way too young, I feel, because of course you're meant to. You need the reminiscing big part of Grisabella, isn't it?
Yes,
and so
absolutely.
I feel she's too young, but I do feel she does a good job. Those are the ones that I'm happy with. Then, of course, we've got blooming James Corden. We've got Jason Derulo. Which I just don't want to talk about.
It's just not a well-made film, is it? It's not good.
It just feels, and Rebel Wilson, for example, and so with Jenny Anydots, they completely changed the sort of vibe of Jenny Anydots from this like quite lovable, sort of cheeky maternal character, marching all the what are the creatures
kittens
are they?
in line.
Yeah, exactly. To this sort of really lazy, whiny, bratty thing with this huge. I just found it really.
There's a lot
weird.
of things where you think, stop. What is the intention here?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you doing this? Why?
And if
what
they
was
can't
that
back it
decision
up
for?
no, it's not. Overall, I'm not really a fan. I did think, what's the newcomer? Oh, in fact, actually, yes. So I don't completely hate it. I mainly hate it, but I don't completely hate it. The newcomer's Francesca Hayward, who plays Victoria in the film.
Yeah.
I do appreciate that, of course, because they knew that they weren't going to match the 98 film of a stage version. And so, therefore, I get that they need to sort of kind of create a bit more of a narrative arc. So they give that to Victoria the kitten, don't they? And so we see it all through her eyes. And so she's being introduced to everyone. And then it's made up a bit, but that she then makes a connection with Grisabella. And so there we sort of see that through there. But I appreciate that they needed to work out how to go from just that person to that, cat to that cat kind of thing. And I think she does a good job.
Yeah, I think she's fine.
Yeah, she's fine. And she's a beautiful dancer.
She's amazing, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the ensemble choreography is the best thing of the show.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, they're really good. But
from a directorial point of view, piss poor.
Cat piss poor.
Cat piss poor.
Cat piss poor.
Absolutely, dear.
Cat piss poor.
These cocktails are going down so well.
They are. I need to drink a little bit more.
Back to the Mungo Jerry and Rumple teaser.
Yeah!
Do you think we could put a poll out where we play a little snippet of each one and get people to vote for their favourite on our socials?
Ooh, I'm sure we can. I need to find someone who's more technically minded than I am, Chris. That'll be really, really good.
Speaking of votes,
Cats,
the original 1981 musical and the 1998 filmed version gets my vote any day over that piss poor remake in 2019.
You know something so bizarre about it as well is because, of course, should we talk about the costuming and the setup of it? CGI sort of
it spoils that. But that was one of the things he said, that it wasn't ready. The CGI wasn't as he wanted it, and it wasn't quite ready to go out to... Yes, exactly that. That's exactly my viewpoint.
Why would you get rid of the iconic, the leg warmers that they wear and the big, big wigs that are sort of... It means that when you then turn that way, you've actually got the whole thing moving with you, and
I'm all for reimagining things. I'm all for things being reimagined. We talked about Lion King being reimagined by Julie Taymor beautifully on the stage, which is a sort of vice versa to the from stage to screen to stage. Yeah. But still, if you're going to rework something, you've got to have a vision. His vision was obviously not clear, and he obviously doesn't understand the musical theatre as a genre, and we've seen that in the Les Mis movie too, which we talked about in a previous podcast.
He just needs to maybe listen to his advice a little bit more, unless people aren't giving him advice, in which case, why not? Because he clearly needs it.
Yes.
I'm spun myself into a little circle there. Or should we just say, can you stay away from musicals now?
No. Director film,
we're done.
Stay away from musicals.
We're done.
Off. So Cats then winning lots of awards.
Yes.
It won the 1982 Olivier Award. I'm just looking at my notes here because I'm not for the best musical that year. Do you know what won it this year?
What won it this year?
Yeah,
I don't know.
2023.
What?
Another fabulous musical that you and I both adore.
What?
Standing at the Sky's Edge.
Oh, yeah! Oh, I'm so happy. We've only just had the awards, haven't we? And I haven't caught up with them yet. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah, we adore that.
Is that transferring to somewhere now, I think?
Yeah, so it had it transferred to the National Theatre.
Yes, from Sheffield. Yeah.
From Sheffield. Again, another Sheffield production.
Yeah.
Sheffield have done brilliantly. And then it's got a West End transfer as well.
Yes.
So they started with The Life of Pi. Everybody's talking about Jamie, which of course we need to do a podcast about because
we
that's...
need to do that. Yes, we do.
That deserves further exploration.
Yeah.
And now Standing on the Sky's Edge, which is just phenomenal.
We need to have a chat about that at some point. That would be good. We'll wait and get more of a general reaction, and then we'll be able to use some of those facts and figures as we get to it. We've got a big list of stuff, actually. In fact, if we haven't done your favourite musical yet, can you drop us a comment? Drop us a comment, let us know. We want to know what you want to hear.
Subscribe and what's the other one? Follow. I don't know anything about socials, technicals, but...
Don't follow us around the street. That would be a bit weird.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Kind of paparazzi. I'd like to think of a local celebrity. We are big fish in a small pond, SLP. We are big cats in a... I don't know where I was going with that.
In a small litter tray.
Catsuit. Yes.
Oh, dear. Crikey. One of my favourite characters is the Rum-Tum Tugger is a curious guy. I don't know why I started so low.
I love that role.
I can this is literally what I was about to say. I can
10
see
years ago.
you.
10 years ago.
Right now.
Right now?
Right now. Do it right now.
I could get into a cat suit, but it looked more like a fat suit.
I just think it's such a good, cheeky role.
Iconic.
It is.
I love Webber's scores, and especially in Cats, because the melodies, not only the melodies iconic, and you leave the theatre or you leave your bedroom after watching the VHS, humming the melodies.
You do.
But they're also very syncopated.
They are.
Those melodies are really cleverly written interwoven into the story beautifully. Yeah. And if you're a critic of Cats, let's sit down over a vodka tonic and we'll discuss the pros and cons.
And we'll tell you how you're wrong.
Or just listen to this podcast again. We are fangirling, aren't we? We are fangirling.
That's true.
But I know he's very mainstream, but I'm an Andrew Lloyd Webber girl. I have to say it. He's if I could choose my favourite musical composer, it would be Webber.
Oh.
Jesus Christ Superstar, Sunset Boulevard, Starlight Express, Evita.
Now, you're saying, this is what I'm happy about. You're saying all the sort of the accepted classics. This is the thing. I prefer his older stuff to his newer stuff.
Right.
I find.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Although, and I stand by this, best thing I've ever seen in the West End to this date.
What?
Cinderella.
What?
I absolutely adored it. The critics loved it. I don't like how Webber treated the cast when he pulled the plug.
I heard some things about that.
And it's been rewritten and reworked, and now it's opened on Broadway called Bad Cinderella, which is obviously one of the songs or the title song as it is now. Yeah. I adored it. I went with my family to the Gillian Lynn Theatre.
Oh, nice.
And to this date, it is the best thing I have seen on a London stage.
Oh,
It's brilliant.
I missed the opportunity to see it.
Have you listened to the soundtrack?
I've listened to a few of them because I follow Carrie Hope Fletcher quite a lot, and Lauren Byrne as well.
Yes, of course.
Who's now in Matilda as Miss Honey, I believe.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
Yeah, and so I know like a couple of the numbers, but I haven't had a proper like sit down listen through or like seen a bootleg yet. But it's on my list.
I love it.
I'm kind of wanting to reserve judgment because I heard that it got very like Cats, very divisive.
And I dragged my husband to the theatre under duress because he hates anything like he has horses.
No, he doesn't. He loves it.
But
he loves it.
He does. What I do, which is really, really quite naughty, is if there's a birthday or a Christmas coming up. With my family, I buy them show tickets to things that I want to see.
Oh, that's
and
such
they think,
a good idea.
That's amazing. He's bought me a ticket to a West End show.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no, I bought me a ticket and you're just going to go.
You're just going to go on.
Apologies, Mum, Dad, nephews, husbands.
It's out. It's
husbands?
out.
No, it's not the Book of Mormon. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. And Sam loves it too.
Oh, good.
He adores the show.
I'll definitely give it a proper go then. I do have a list of things that I need to like just sit down and
listen to.
I'm so bad for and it's the same with TV and film and stuff, of just going back and watching old like comfort ones again and again and again.
I do that all the time.
I know, but there are so many new things that I need to give it a try.
I don't want to commit to a series. I don't want, and people say, oh no, it's brilliant. I'm like, no, but I know that
you'll know that you'll like it as well.
Yes.
It's sort of taking the first step.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Absolutely that.
No, you're right. I've got a question as well, because with the two stage, well, essentially it's stage versus the new screen, isn't it? We had Taylor Swift as Bombalurina, and they kind of changed her approach because, of course, so she sings the one that we were singing earlier, the very sultry Macavity. Oh, very, very jazzy. I love it. And she kind of, I always saw that in the stage film version, that it's meant to be this quite sexy number, it's quite a bit, it's enticing.
Yes.
And she's sort of describing how, I don't really know how you say
it. He's a bad boy, isn't he?
Yeah, and she
you
likes
expect that bluesy kind
of. Exactly. And yet in the new film, they kind of change it, so it's as if she's not involved with him at all, and it's used as a warning song.
Yes.
And I'm like, that's just, you've lost one of the really exciting... It's such a good number.
It's great
such a good number. I don't really want them to change it.
Could you pick your favourite number from the show?
Oh, there are loads of really good ones. I think I'm going to have to go with Skimbleshanks.
Skimbleshanks.
It's an absolute banger.
Do you know what I like? And it's more of a filler. It's not a song per se. It's more of a filler.
Is it Bustopher Jones?
Oh, I love Bustopher Jones.
I do love Bustopher Jones. I don't like James Corden, but I love Bustopher Jones.
But it's the up, past the National Hotel. Up to the heavy side land.
Oh, yeah.
And when of all things can it be really? Yes, no. I'm a sucker for a medley.
Yeah.
I am. And he is a tunesmith. Webber is a tunesmith. Critics of Webber, you cannot disagree.
Yeah.
He's a tunesmith.
Yeah, that's
and his
true.
commercial, so what? What a superstar. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
What would be your go-to karaoke for Vox karaoke bar?
Okay, it would be Rum Tum Tugger.
Would it? Yeah. Oh, nice. That would be so good. Mine would be, I would want to say Memory, because I just fucking love that song. But also, it's a bit of a
I know what we want it to be, but do you know what it's going to be?
What?
Mungo Jerry and Rumble Tigger.
Oh, with the full choreography, of course. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yep. They've got room downstairs to do the whole.
Yeah, we can do that.
I can't even show it with my hands.
I've fallen off a stage many a time. I'm a pro.
Wrong one. Brilliant. Oh dear. I do have just such fond memories of this show. And I remember there was a UK tour, and I think it came to Hull, or it was when I was quite young, and so it was either Hull or quite local.
Yeah.
And I just remember being so entranced by it then, and I would just do anything to see it again live. Yeah. I just want to see it. I want to be
at the Edinburgh Festival, and it was through the times where the Edinburgh Festival were changing.
Yes.
So there weren't as many musicals or plays.
Yeah.
But at the main theatre there, at the Playhouse in Edinburgh, they were staging the tour of Cats. And I thought, I just need a little bit of musical release. So I'm going to go and see Cats. And I'm so glad I did.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad to be talking about cats
I'm
here
so
with
glad
you.
that we've had it.
With our fabulous interval drinks.
Cat piss!
Cat piss! Word of the day. Cat piss. Cheers, folks.